going on? This is Melvin. I'm here with KJ, and we are here at Coppertail Brewing in Tampa, Florida. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to KJ. Want to get this thing rolling. Want to get you guys some good content today. We're going to be going over tech, like a tech roundup. But before we get to that, we want to talk a little bit about Coppertail and how incredible this place is. First off, if you've been in Tampa for a while, you probably know of or heard of Coppertail. They have some really, really good beer that is very well known. I mean, everywhere, really. I see it at Publix, Total Wine, you name it. So there's some good stuff here. A lot of cool things going on at the brewery itself. Location prime. You know, you can grab a beer and go across the street and, you know, get some furniture from IKEA. And, you know, if you don't like to put the furniture together, you can come back and get more beer to help you with that whole process. So it's a really nice spot, really huge location, tons of space. I'm going to throw it over to KJ, let her introduce the team here and kind of get right into what Coppertail is all about.
Okay, so I'm KJ, and yet we are at Coppertail. So off of 60 near IKEA. Huge event space up the top is where we're at today. We did our event last week, 2 weeks ago here. It was a great event. It's a great host. So if you have needs for a private event, this is a great place to come to. But we are sitting here today with the marketing director and the COO. This is Ken and Gary. Gotta make sure I do that the right way. I'm like, wait, you're sitting differently than I've been talking with you before. So I'm going to let them kind of introduce themselves. We knew that was going to happen. Introduce themselves, and we've got some questions, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how we got started and what we can expect when you come to Coppertail. So, you want to start us off, Ken?
Gary.
I know. I wrote it backwards.
So Ken's the better looking one with less beard.
Look, I wrote it wrong. Look, we do my little switcheroo.
Yep.
Gary.
Gary.
Tell us about what you do here at Coppertail and about what we're drinking today.
I'm the marketing director at Coppertail. I handle that on top of most of our design work as well. And what we're drinking here today is, you've got Red 5, which we did for May the 4th. It's the Star Wars holiday, in case you're familiar. So Red 5 standing by is the true name of it. That was Luke Skywalker's number.
I'm so jealous that you get to drink.
That is hibiscus, pineapple, lemon, pomegranate. And it's our base for Winter Weiss.
Don't even. Can I just smell it while he continues to talk? Okay, go ahead.
This one is our new cider. This is the blood orange variant. This one is gluten-free. We just launched this in March. It's available in a base cider, a dry cider, and the blood orange. And we distribute those in 6-pack cans. And they're always on tap here. We have other variants of cider that we always take.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Keep yours.
So we were like 3.5 years in development of like the cider brand, piloting recipes, you know, getting all the IP stuff set up and everything like that. So it's really kind of fun to go through, really, right when COVID kind of hit. It's like actually when we like kind of started this concept and everything like that. But to see it now come to fruition, you know, 3.5 years later, actually get the launch, you know, it's available like at Trout Field or where the Threshers play for big venues, and just kind of getting out, like at Publix, Total Wine, Lucan, stuff like that.
And this isn't called Coppertail cider. We developed another brand called Fallen Fruit. So that's what you'll be looking for in the stores.
Okay, so Fallen Fruit. If you can't find Coppertail cider, it's because it doesn't exist. It's Fallen Fruit.
Yes. Fallen Fruit.
All right. So talk about Kent, another person who's not here, but he is the owner and founder and idea maker of Coppertail. So tell us a little bit about when it got started and what his big vision was.
So Kent was a corporate lawyer, an avid homebrewer, and he eventually got sick of being a lawyer, I guess, to say the least. And he decided he was going to use his vision to open up this facility and just make beer for a living. And he's a big dreamer, so we started fairly large and grew even more after that. And yeah, this is like playground at this point now.
You know, we were saying that they didn't really start somewhere smaller and then move into this big space. He hit the ground running and just said, yes, this big, let's make it this big.
Yep. We're 37,000 square foot space. That's 50 barrel roll-up brew house. So it's kind of fun. Like when we want to pilot something, like that's a 50 barrel batch of beer. You know, like we're not dipping a toe in the water, so it's a lot of fun. I mean, it hurts when it doesn't come out right, and you know, we open a valve and say goodbye. You know, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes, you know, it's just not what we went after. And, you know, once a year or so, something will happen like that.
We actually did fill up a kiddie pool with beer one time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Kind of like that beer. You're like, you can't sell it. Let's swim in it.
We had a meditation issue that went on, and we won a Crushy, right? It's Crushy Awards.
Yeah.
And we won a Crushy Award for that, but literally filled up a kiddie pool, and we're doing like backflips and belly flops and everything, and literally
Into the beer.
And we cut the jackets off on the tank like 2 weeks prior to doing that video, and it was still like 47 degrees, the beer coming out. So like, it was fucking cold. Like, yeah. I remember I did this huge like belly flop and like figured maybe there's more volume there that I was thinking, I hope there's more volume, and like I belly flopped like on the concrete pretty much. So I'm like, okay, I hope that shot came out well. I'm hurt right now.
Jeez. I want to see that. I also want to be invited to the next beer pool party.
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Oh, and that was a 250 barrel batch that went down unfortunately that day. So
So all of our beers went through our lab, which does QA on everything. So if it doesn't pass, if Robert, our lab manager, he's like, nope, then we either have to figure out a means to fix it if possible. If not, we're not going to put something out that's not good.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Right. Don't want to run the right.
All right, that.
All right, so you've got something that you do every year, like an anniversary concert. So when is like your anniversary? What month?
So our anniversary is actually in August, August 21st or 24th. I thought it was the 24th.
Yeah.
And but it's just too damn hot, so we had to move it. So we moved it back to November. So every November we throw a large free concert for all of our patrons and fans of the brewery, and we get some big acts in there. Last year we had Blue the Tiger. It's pretty cool. Pretty big draws, and we set up in the back lot off of our loading dock. And we get professional sound and lighting to come out that the guys from Gasparilla Music Festival help us set up. So it's a big deal. We could usually get maybe 1,000 or so people out there.
Wow, it's cool. We bring the roll-up door open, so like you can see the brew house and tanks, and like feel. It's kind of cool to feel like you're part of the brewery, And like our grain silos are out back, our 2 grain silos. So like it's just a different kind of vibe when you feel like you're kind of in the middle of there.
Yeah.
And then if you're like watching an amazing show like Tribute or something, and then you're like, man, I'm still at a brewery. You're not at a music fest or anything. And
Just in a parking lot at a
yeah. Dock Life is pretty cool. Like it does showcase pretty well, and it's pretty fun to work with like the GMF folks and getting all the stages roll on and off. And like this facility can transform pretty fast into a really neat venue.
Oh, to definitely come to the one this year for sure.
Yeah.
So you, besides that, you do a beer week event. I mean, most breweries do, but you guys have an amazing kitchen here.
Yes.
Like that's something that I think sets you apart from some other breweries. Get that word out. Talk about your kitchen and like your staff and your food. What's your favorite thing?
So originally we were no food, and then we were the food truck people. So through revolving doors there and hoping, some people show up, some will, the challenges of that. And then we ended up partnering with a really great restaurant, Stein and Vine. And then they were in our kitchen space for quite a few years. And then Ty and Lacey.
Yeah, Ty.
Awesome food, and it was great to work with them. It was kind of nice where we're great. We're very good at making beer, but, we weren't necessarily, kitchen people, in back of house. So in 2019, we started our own concept here and took over the kitchen space. And I mean, now it's been, 4 years of doing this. We're 100% scratch kitchen. Like we grind it, we cure it, we smoke it, we case it, whatever. Like the only thing we're not doing here is making bread. But other than that, like everything is all hands on for the staff. Chef Corey and Matt, the team and everybody like does a killer job, whether it's a private event, the large menu stuff we do out back, or just a day-to-day guest here. Our specials are amazing. I know for me, like our burger is a top 5 burger I've ever had in my life. Our smash burger.
I'm gonna have that.
Yeah, smash burger's unreal. I guess we have a lot of employees that order around Burger Friday. So Burger Friday is like a thing, but I mean, it's our number 1 item. I love like our soft pretzel. It's just, that it is good. Yeah, I love the amount of salt we put on there. I'm like a salt fanatic, so For most people, it might be too much, but that's the benefit of the pretzel. Like, just dust it on off, and like it's good. But I know Gary's got some favorite food items as well.
Yeah, the tacos in general, just all six of them are great, but banh mi taco is just
taco.
Yeah.
it's just such a cool like little mashup of like Vietnamese and like Tex-Mex kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be a good mashup.
Man, so 2019, you started the food. What a perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect
Now
time.
also when they did that whole, like, you have to have a restaurant or a food truck.
Correct. Or we also have our cigar license, so there's also another workaround that, you know, you can, I guess, identify as a cigar bar if you wanted to during that time. So we had some options, but
That was rough for some people.
It was definitely
especially the
rough.
smaller breweries, man. It was
Yeah.
like they could not find food trucks to come, and they were struggling to even keep open.
yeah, Gary and I were shooting videos where, like, I was cooking, like, over actually in this space, but literally cooking meals, and we had to-go meal plans that were all prepped, ready to go. So we were shooting video content. With that, just trying to continue to get more revenue and keep our staff employed and everything at the time.
We did a lot of to-go food around that time, and the community really helped us out with that one too.
Yeah, so some pizza kits we were doing and stuff like that. And
You could, like,
stuff.
come in and pick up, what do you call it when you have, like, the 4 cans?
Yes.
Or 6 cans. You pick up a thing and then you grab the food to go. Like, that was like,
Or margaritas to go.
margarita.
They were getting like jugs of margaritas.
What is it? Brett Mason by me? They're just selling you like 32-ounce sushi tater of sangria, and I'm like, okay, I'm liking this
I
so
can take
much.
this with me. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Let's go."
And literally, it's in like the wonton soup.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like New Orleans where like they just put leave the paper in the straw, so it's like, no, I'm not gonna have this right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
What a weird time. What a weird time that
yeah.
whole thing was.
Let's just
No.
We had a ton of fun. I know, like, bringing retailers in during COVID, you know, whether it was like the Marriott Group or Hat Tricks and, you know, a bunch of other like restaurants, but we try to invite people here like one day every week.
Yeah.
And, you know, bring your staff and just come hang on the dock with us.
Yeah.
You know, and still trying to keep like that culture, because like craft beer, like that is a community, and that is like a point of sharing a beer with people. And as you're kind of all bottled up, and, you know, we can keep our distance out back, which is nice, and you're outside.
Yeah. So we all.
And, you know, we were
stay 6 feet
closed. Exactly. We were always 6 feet apart, always. But it was nice, you know, to like just get people in here to feel somewhat normal. I mean, we all came to work every day, but I know for other people, I mean, they were home for months.
Yeah.
And like,
Got depressed, got divorced, you know, all the
or Scott, maybe for you.
Kids at a time. Sheesh.
Like, what else we gotta do?
Right. Sheesh. Crazy.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about was you guys have like highly sought after artwork on your cans and your building. All of your branding, your marketing has this artwork, and I know there's a story behind it. So I'm gonna let you guys talk about that because it is really cool.
Yeah, sure. So we work with a illustrator. Her name is Cass. She's based out of Philadelphia, and the process with working with her is very cool. Like every one of our beers has a story behind it. Some of them are more elaborate than others, and we keep the story to us, so we don't really share that. We let the artwork speak for itself, where you can make up whatever story you think it's going to be.
Build your own picture. I love it.
And so we give her the story, and then she comes back with the drawing, and we're always just like, okay, that's not what we were picturing, but it's even better. You know, like, it always blows us away. Like,
Climate Roller came out amazing.
Yeah.
Like just kind of where we were talking about things, and, you know, you think about, you know, hazy IPAs, and then how do you correlate that to like a whimsical artwork, and then like the characters just kind of floating through, you know, but just, I mean, every one of them has just a crazy, unique story. Even the bottom of like the 6-packs, like our founder, you know, Kent, he writes that message, and it's just unreal. Like his just the words that he can use to describe things, and the story that leads you on a way, but also like leaves it open where your imagination also can kind of take over.
sometimes I don't believe that he's a lawyer. I think he's a writer.
Right,
That's
right.
yes. But yeah, like what he was talking about, Cloud Beller. Like in a nutshell, we just gave him the copper tail is the C or the tail that you see the logo. Kent's daughter was 5 years old at the time, and she came up with a story about this animal that was in the bay that she would see, and it was just so cool. Naturally, he was like, when he was going to name the brewery, he said, we have to name this coppertail. Oh, the guest fit, and the logo was perfectly designed around that. So,
Yeah. And then his daughter, fast forward like 12 years later, or like 15 years later, you know, she was working at the brewery for quite a few years before going off to college. And then when she'd come back, she would come back to work here. So it's kind of cool, like the original vision of her child at 5 years old and the majestic creature, you know, now all of a sudden, like, she's here and everything. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I love that. I never knew that. The more you know. I was 2 years old.
Well, awesome. You guys were amazing hosts, and you always are. We're going to do other events here.
Absolutely.
But we just really love that you guys have this space for us, for people in...
You do tours too, right?
Yep.
If that was cool. So I love doing tours.
Probably Saturday. Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah, I think it's a hell of a spot, man.
Yeah, we had a 24 head filler CFT candy line that runs like 350 cans a minute. You know, just like seeing our tank
I wanna
space
see
and our
that.
cellar, like it's really cool to watch it in action. It is that whole Willy Wonka, you know,
Yes,
feeling
that's
to
what
it and
I meant.
everything. And,
Boy, it gets loud too. I've only ever seen it like moving. Red Hook.
Yeah.
That time up there with the military. That was fun just to watch. And get,
thank God it's not glass anymore and it's aluminum and it's cans.
Oh, God.
Man, that is so loud.
Yep.
But usually the
And one
music,
gets stuck and they all start.
yeah.
Seen
But
that?
usually the music's louder, I think, than what the canning line is.
Yeah.
I think so you got some good 80s pop going on and stuff like that. And yeah.
Good.
What a vibe. What a vibe.
It is a vibe. It is a vibe. The color scheme in here, everything is just so cool.
Yeah, let's all hang on. Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of our podcast. And we will
Thanks for having us.
share all the links and stuff below and show notes for
Everything.
everything.
Man, and come get the beers.
Yeah, come get the beer.
Beers.
Cheers. Yeah, we didn't even cheers. What's wrong with that?
Cheers to beers.
Yep. Oh, yeah, remember when I
And-
had this say that?
And, wish you were.
It should stay beer, shouldn't it? It kind of does, actually. It kind of does.
It does say that.
It's early.
Big miss by us just to leave that part out.
This is the earliest, podcast we've done. It's like, what, 10 o'clock now.
Breakfast
So,
beer.
a.m. A.m.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
Welcome to your life, 10 a.m. beers.
10 a.m. beers. Listen, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. That's why I stay with the sour. It's safe.
Yeah. Sure it is.
I went with like what's the unholy triple?
So we do like 9% sours too. Yeah, we can do some baker's wines.
I'm mad at that either though.
It's pretty felony.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Stay tuned. No, appreciate you guys for sure. Absolutely. Cheers. The magical transition.
Yep. Happening behind the scenes.
I love it.
That one's
No, it's red.
blue.
No, it's red on this.
Up.
Colors. Red means recording. Blue means it's connected to the camera. So we're doubled up. We're doubled up.
Speaking of technology.
Doubled up. Scooch.
Speaking of technology, that's our topic today.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
We'll start with these.
Yeah, we'll start with these mics.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip it because I don't want to.
Blue means Bluetooth?
Blue means Bluetooth.
That makes sense.
So it's Bluetooth to one camera, and then mic'd up on the other. So
We're holding them.
so yeah. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna hold it. No, clip it. Alright. We can do what's going on.
How you been?
I've been doing.
How you been?
So yeah, we'll start with tech. We're gonna talk about tech today, and kind of have some fun with it. There's a lot on the price. You know what's really funny? I had a comment on TikTok. If you're listening, I saw you.
Yeah.
They said, they go, why is it that Melvin's always talking?
On your clips. So sometimes the clips are like just him, and sometimes the clips are just me. We need to do more clips where it's back and forth. But we try to be really respectful of what each other is saying. So when he's talking, we try not to talk over him, and I'm talking, it's the same. So we get this clip of just one person.
Yeah, it's how it goes. You go sometimes.
That could.
But yeah, we have a lot of tech to kind of go over. I guess we can call it a tech roundup sort of thing. But this will be an extremely long episode too. So that's going to be nice for some of y'all. I know we've had some long ones, we've had some shorter ones.
That last one.
But really the goal of this one is to get you an idea of what's out there, what we're using, what's working for us, and maybe something you could try as well. Because there's a lot out there you can waste your money on. So first and foremost, just go for the trials before you commit to anything. Trial it out before you go hard. So that's what I'll kind of let you know in advance.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that you don't even know you actually have, because your phone is like a little tiny computer. It is way more powerful than most people realize. There's a lot of technology just sitting in our palms of our hands that we're not actually using. Like, I know that let's just start, that's probably the most basic thing we could start off with is like, let's use our phones correctly.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to do the thing that Melvin does where he looks at the camera and then
Let's use our phone.
Let's use our phone.
Do it. Yeah, listen, let's start on the most obvious topic on earth. And I'm going to get some hate for this, because I always do. iPhone versus Android, right? In business, do what you wish, but don't get pissed off if you shit that one doesn't work. So I'm going to throw out there. It really gets old when I talk to people and they're like, well, how come this doesn't work? And how come that's not working? And I'm like, and I look and I have an Android, right? So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I am a tech junkie. I do understand that the hardware for Android is better. I do understand that the cameras are better sometimes. I do understand that there's a lot more features and, customization and a lot of cool things, right? Reality, and I don't care what you believe in or what you know, what you think you know. Do some research before you just believe or go off of your own opinions. And I've done the research.
Always on anything, by the way. Side, not just on
Don't just go off what people say. Do your own research. But from a technical perspective, and I've worked with some big companies, and I've gotten some feedback from them as to why their technology per se is not up to par with their Android device platforms. And really the reason boils down to, for most big companies, they probably have less than a 10, maybe close to like a 4% user base on Android versus Apple.
Whoa.
Which is huge. So for that reason,
huge.
just from a technical perspective, it doesn't really make sense for them to throw a bunch of money at software development when only 4% of their users are using it.
Analytics. Big money there.
So yeah, I mean, that's just the raw piece. And for those of you that really like the techie stuff like I do, to dive into it, something like Instagram, for example, a super simple concept, right? Just for the sake of time, should condense this, but there's over 110 plus Android manufacturers. We're talking square phones, scroll phones, fold phones, flip phones, slide phones. Just to get Instagram to expand properly on, let's say, a Galaxy Fold that goes from a regular screen to like a giant 13-inch screen or whatever. Yeah, it's like literally a TV. It costs developers tons and tons of money just to get that software to work properly. So that's just one simple reason. But I can tell you, as a marketer, being someone who does this for a living, I have had both devices, and for almost 2 years, I rolled with an Android and an iPhone just because I wanted to see the differences, and I wanted to be able to help those people who are on the other side of whatever side of the fence they're on. And I personally have felt the same thing. I'm like, whoa, how come my app for my business card on my iPhone has 1,500 more features than my Android one? For that reason, they just don't put the time into the software as much because it's not cost effective. They're going to put the money where most of the people aren't, and it is what it is. Sucks that it's that way. But then you take, iPhone, Android, right? They've all been the same, rectangle. They're just different sizes of the rectangle. I still have my first, they just added to them, a couple extra eyes, but I still have my first iPhone and it works. Very first original screen crack, but still works. It's still just a rectangle.
A rectangle.
It's easy for a rectangle to change sizes and not lose or distort. It's a lot more when you start folding, flipping, and sliding. So that's what I'll say about that.
Yeah,
do your research.
Flipping and sliding.
I've had several realtors who have switched over recently from Android, and they obviously they miss a couple of the little gimmicky features, but for their business, it's been a huge.
Look, it's a meme for a reason when they're like. That should just be a saying. It's a meme for a reason. But it's a meme for a reason that they're like, this is a picture of an Android user never giving up their Android, or whatever it is. They will die on that hill. And it's like, that Android is the best. I've known those people.
I get it. They're fun. I love
fun.
them.
They're fun. But to streamline using other technologies, you're going to have to just step into the basis, the phone basis that allows you to get the most out of what you're trying to do that day. Cool, you can personalize this, but is it really helping you in your business? Can you send video?
Oof, files. Can you send files?
Can you send files to the majority of the people?
Yes, you can, but it takes 15 more steps.
Right.
Save it here, download it there, then upload it to Dropbox. Then there's always a process. You can't just hit
send. Right.
What's funny is, oddly enough, that's what I was doing in the car before you pulled up.
What do you mean, I was late?
Asking realtors. No, but I was actually working on one of my brokerages that I work with. We have, 8 iPhones, and there's 3 Androids. And they're in their own separate chat because we can't send anything to them. And I keep forgetting when I do edits and videos and stuff, I keep forgetting to send it to the Android folks because it's so much more of a process.
Listen, you are missing out on group chats if you are an Android. I'm telling you, if you don't think you are, it's because you don't have an iPhone and you're not in the iPhone chat.
It just gets hard.
Because when we're sending videos, even friend groups, family groups, work groups,
I just leave them out. So sorry.
I'm sorry, because if I send a video from my iPhone,
it just failed immediately.
It just failed, or if it goes through, even my iPhone friends get a blurry video.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. So then I just make a separate chat for my iPhone friends, and so that I know who I'm
trying to bridge the gap. They're trying.
They are. There was some law that was passed.
Yeah, there were, and Apple's working with RCS, SJ, trying to work with Google Google's kind of Android now. Google kind of bought all that up. Hell, I had a Pixel phone. Man, if it wasn't for the messaging platform being so shit, I would have kept it because it was an amazing phone.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just a lot of caps. So that leads me into I guess we can. The first tech thing that I was going to bring up is something simple: GroupMe. So that's what I set up for them, was a GroupMe, and it's free. It is, you can send videos, photos, text. It's like a lot of people fall into WhatsApp, and WhatsApp's really a good one too. But I think there's some.
You can send large emails through WhatsApp.
You can.
To any phone.
Yeah.
No matter what they.
For business, I have found that I really enjoy GroupMe from a technological perspective because you can do calendars, you can do reminders, you can do polls within your text. So working with teams, whether it's me working with the team or you working with your team, what's really cool is if you're trying to figure out, hey, what day should we do quote day? Or hey, what day should we do this event? You can create a poll within the GroupMe, hit it to the top, and have people answer it, and you can actually see in real time what just the little things.
Too, you're sitting a poll, and then it reminds people to go out there and make their choice.
It's super cool, and it bridges the gap for those that are. So I'm getting this whole team set up on GroupMe, so that way I could stop this extra group chat and all these other things I have to remember. It just helps streamline. It works smarter, not harder, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of ways to do that.
I think it's great. GroupMe is good for, I use it with all my kids' sports. All of their individual sports teams are on different GroupMe chats. If you haven't heard of this, I would definitely look into it. If your kids are in sports, probably have heard of this. But you may not be using it to its full potential because you can use it for work. You can use it for, even just planning things with your family and your friends outside of a group chat, like a text chat. But, okay, so one of the other things with our phones that I was going to mention was the capability to collaborate on notes. Great.
We use that.
Yes, we do. We type each other inside of our notes, right? So I can see.
iPhone only.
iPhone only. Yeah, see?
Yeah. Collaborating notes.
So, we are collaborators on our notes, but not all of our notes, just the one that we selected that we want to share with each other. And we talk about our podcast content, if we have ideas that we want to share with each other, instead of sending a text and then it get lost in the thread and we're scrolling through, where did I say that one thing about that idea? We know I still read that to you. I'll be hey, I put this in the notes later, but I just wanted to text you. I don't know what.
What's really cool though is if you're on a collaborative note, I do have collaborative folders. So what I did now was I set up a Re-Brew folder, and any note that I add within that folder now automatically shares. And what's really cool is in our text thread between me and KJ, the top, if she makes any changes, I make any changes, when you go to text that person just randomly throughout the day, it'll say, hey, KJ made edits too, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And then I know that you can just open something. And I'm like, oh, what did you think of?
Yeah.
But it's really, if you're working collaboratively with others.
That's a big one.
That was a part of it. So it's 700 syllables.
You're from the Progressive.
Exactly.
The word.
Collaboratively. With someone, you can keep all of your notes. It's kind of like a Google Docs, but without going into your laptop, you can just do it from your phone. A lot of us use our phones while we're driving, or we're in a meeting and we're not supposed to have our laptops out or whatever. You can use your phone to still do a lot of work without having that laptop, but you're not using your Google Docs or something like that.
There's just so much you do with your phone as it sits. I'm guilty because we went through this when we started this podcast. I went through and spent numerous hours testing all these different note-taking apps because I was like, whoa, I need a better note-taking app. I tried like 3 or 4 of them that cost money, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
You're just gonna use
Just
it.
use the one that's built in. It's so much easier. You don't have to download anything or remember where to go. So sometimes what you have at your disposal works just fine. Don't reinvent the wheel and try to find something new unless you really, really, really need it for some reason.
And you can voice talk to it
Quadrant.
from your song. So like you don't even have to like for driving. You can just be like, hey Siri. Our phones are gonna turn on. Oops,
Do it.
I know. Hey S lady, add a note to Re-Brew, and then it'll pull it up and it'll say, what would you like to add? And then you just say, my idea for next episode's content is, and it'll type it there. I've added to Re-Brew notes. And they'll see it, I'll see it. I've not lost my train of thought, which if you've got, ADHD, if you're neurospicy, we talked about this in a different episode, if your brain is like ours and we're running a different 700 tabs at the same time, it allows you to shut that task off because you've done it, you've said it, you're now on to the next task and you've put that idea out to the universe and you don't have to try to remember it anymore.
Yep.
Super helpful. Okay.
Super.
So what else do we use on our regular
I
everyday
made a little
basis?
list today, speaking of collaborative notes. There's a lot.
Well, digital business cards.
Visual business cards are huge.
Let's talk about that. Oh, by the way, Popl tried to charge me $4,200 this morning.
Well,
What? And it was like, a charge attempted because I put a cap on my business card. And obviously it's not $4,000. So it tried to, and it said failed. And I sent a screenshot back to Popl and I said, why on earth are you charging me $4,000 right now? And they're like, oh, reset it. Because when we switched over from our team, I opened up another team and they tried to take all of the team files to my new account. But anyway, that's just a funny thing that happened this morning. That I thought
Let's say we could just text Jason. He's cool with people.
yeah, he like BFFs with the CEO.
He's awesome.
CFO.
Popl's huge.
Popl, that's our favorite. I was gonna say like right now, people ask, I have a dot, I have a savvy, I have a blink.
Blank.
Blank. I have a this, I have a link tree. Okay, our favorite,
Yeah.
hands down, is Popl.
Especially if you have a team. The teams section, you don't get to see a lot of that, but the team section of Popl.
Let's just switch everything up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the team section of Popl is amazing because you can set, let's say you are just appropriate team, title team, doesn't matter, right? You can set your colors, your themes, your logos, and have it auto-apply to anybody that you add to the account. You can manage everything, see who their leads are coming in from, see what's going on with who's tapping what. I mean, there's just a lot of insights. A lot of the other cards will have a platform like that.
The
dashboard is beautiful, and they never stop changing, and that's something that's phenomenal. Going back to Jason, I helped him in the beginning when we set up our account. I helped him for a couple hours troubleshooting Android stuff. Oddly enough, because I had my Android at that time. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Why is this not working? So there were some glitches. There were some things that he had to fix on the Android side of life, and that's how I got to know the CEO. Super awesome company. Love what they're about. But just the functionality, the fact that you can embed videos, you can embed your links, your events, you can embed everything. I make the joke all the time that hey, let's ride behind the curtain for this Oz. The digital business cards to me is the curtain move away. People are going to look for you, right? Why give them 1,500 freaking links to click when you just have one that has everything? So again, like Linktree, very similar. But the difference between the two is just also doubles as your business card, which also doubles as a lead generator, which also doubles as a map that shows you on an app where you've met people. It also doubles as a business card scanner.
almost a CRM.
It's magic. It integrates with hundreds of different CRM platforms.
Yeah, you can integrate it with Follow Up Boss, Google Type. What's that other one that I
You can have it set up where someone scans your QR code, you text them whatever, right, and it automatically puts it in as a lead to whatever your CRM system is. I've tested it with Follow Up Boss, with Nicole Realty. It's magic. It's really cool. But there's just a lot of functionality. Well, it's just really easy to share it. Now, it's not to say get rid of your paper business cards, because I don't think you should ever.
Well, so I put my QR code. So when you get a Popl, let's break it down for people who have been like, well, what are you talking about? First of all, it's Popl.
What's public?
What's Popl? And it's not Popl, Popple. Okay, you will not find it. You will end up with like a little
Coke water.
I'm thinking of that little cartoon, remember? Like, and they rolled up into themselves. Do you remember that?
Polioli?
No, it's called the Popls.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'm older than
I'm
you.
thinking of Roly Polioli.
I'm older than he is. And the Popls was a show where these little furry animals rolled up into their little balls and like then they pop out. Anyway, pop out. Oh, that's why they're called that. Okay, that makes so this digital business card. It's digital in that when you scan the code or you click the link, it takes you to all the information about that person. It takes you to their Instagram, their LinkedIn, their Facebook, their website. We have a NetSheet app. You're going to probably have a NetSheet app here soon that you'll have it go to. You can have links that goes to both he and I are Amazon affiliates. Yep. So if we ever have anything that we're linking from Amazon that we are promoting, that we like, that we're saying, hey, this is a great product, like stuff like today, we will link it on our digital business card. So when someone scans that code and clicks that link, everything is there. And they do not have to be like, hey, what's your email? Because it's there. Hey, what's your Instagram handle? It's there.
Yep.
Or they can get to know you. Maybe it's someone that you recently met at a networking event, or it's a new client, or anything like that. And you're like, hey, scan my card. They can go in and watch your latest YouTube episode. You can go, if you've downloaded, you got a listing. If you've got a listing, you can add your link there so they could be like, hey, check out my listings. And let's say you've got 17 listings. Yep. That would be amazing and we should talk. But they can see all of your listings right there. They can see if you've got a buyer guide, a seller guide, anything that you can possibly send a link to, you can link into your business card. And people have access to everything at one time. And then you just share that one link on. We both put our links on Instagram. We put our links on our business cards. This, on the back of our poster, is the link to our Re-Brew. And then it gives you access to all of our episodes. It gives you access to both of our individual business cards, everything.
Cool. So team directory, with sky's really the limit, and I think you should definitely check it out. We'll put the links in the show notes, everything, so you'll have anything we talk about tech-wise. That'll be in the little Amazon link as well, so you want to search or go looking for anything there. Popl's huge. I think it's a good tool to try. It's very affordable. We get averages for us for the Pro about $76 for the year per person. It's not astronomical, and I think it'll definitely help you for a business. I mean, for me, I can tell you the map thing has worked out. I've met people before, like in different states and stuff. Like, I'm like, hey, I can remember I met this person. I can't remember their name, but then I go, oh, you know what? I met them in Texas, and I can go to Texas on my Popl map, and I can see exactly who I met where. So that part's really cool. There's a lot of cool little functionality. Let's see. I think of the next one I want to bring up. What about like video messaging? Like Loom, Bob and Loom. Both have phenomenal platforms. I have
like the Loom. What do you
prefer? Well, I don't know. Bomb's bringing it. The Bomb's coming back.
They did kind of do like a
did a whole rebrand and a whole redo.
Yeah.
I will say from a price point, Loom still wins for me. The interface on Loom is more of a, let's just put it this way. Barfog gives me more of an Android interface vibe, and Loom gives me more of that Apple white, clean, crisp, minimalist vibe.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I gravitate towards Loom. It's very cheap. I want to say it's probably like $12 a month or something.
Yeah,
it's free up to like 20-something videos, and it's like $12 a month.
So let's talk about what Loom does. But let's talk about what they do.
So it's video. It's basically a video messaging platform. So what I mean by that is, those of us that are iPhone, we can send videos all day long, right? But even though that's the case, I still like to use something like Loom or BombBomb because I like to see the insights on numbers. I like to see the stats behind it. I like to see if they did, how long they watched it for. I mean, it'll tell you that they started, watched it for 30 seconds, and then dropped off. Like, it tells you everything you need to know.
And then you know kind of when you get bored.
Yeah, and it creates a library. So you create folders. Your folder could be as simple as, new client videos. And you could have 15 videos in there that you just blast out to the clients when you get them like, hey, here's me, here's how I work.
hey, here's the process that comes next. Hey, here's what I do for a listing. Or, hey, here's a congratulations video. The reason I like it, I think, the most is we live in a world where I think you should really, the more you talk, the more you're visual, the more voice, face, personality you give,
Your visibility.
the better, right? So, taking into consideration those of you that have listened, those of you that know me, if I was to text you and never met me before, you wouldn't get the vibe the same way as like if I was to talk to you. How else to get that other than that video? And again, if you're Android iPhone, iPhone to Android, like you're gonna have that disconnect where you send a video, it shows up like, and you can't see a damn thing. You might as well have recorded it on your little flip phone from Altel or Pineco, or Singular or one of those other companies that are gone. It bridges the gap. But I will say, what I use it for the most, and for some of you in the real estate industry, this I don't think enough people are doing it this way. When I work the mortgage side, right? When I work on clients that I have to go over their final pros of disclosure or I have to go over documents, you can screen record while capturing your voice and face. So what I do is I'll pull up the contract, I'll pull up the closing disclosure, I'll screen record while I'm talking, and I'll go over it line by line. Here's what this means, here's what that means, here's what this section's talking about. For those people who are working night shifts, they're working during the day, you can't get a hold their attention long enough. You send them this video, they can watch it whenever they want. So that part I think is really cool and very honest. Even thinking outside the box for training. If you're a training agent, you create a whole training folder where you're going through your systems, your CRMs, you're recording all the steps as you're talking about them. So you don't necessarily have to be present or live for everything. Sky's the limit, but it bridges so many gaps for the video part. It's huge.
Let's be your personality. It's more like if you're telling someone how to do something, someone can follow along better than trying to like read what you said. Like, okay, click on the top right. If you said that and there's a video of you clicking on the top right, you're like, oh, that top right. Okay. And because people want that
visual learners.
Yeah, a lot of them are visual learners, but they also want that. They don't want to sit and try to figure stuff out.
Right.
I mean, I don't blame them. I don't care. But the video just really clears that up, and it lets your personality shine.
100%.
The way that you are, if you're really quiet, solemn kind of person.
Solomon.
And you are talking with a very hyper person. I'm going to realize okay. So this person is more slow, structured. Okay, cool. I'm probably going to slow myself down to match you.
Right.
And then vice versa. So people just understand you better when they see you and it's a video and it's not words through a text message or something like that. So Loom and Bon Bon, and we're saying BOM. I'm not sure if it sounds like Bon Bon, like a candy.
Chicken Bon Bon, chicken Bon Bon.
So those are the two. And so the way we use those is you can put those in emails. Okay, you can send people videos through text messaging, of course, but you can also blast if you have a CRM like a Follow-Up Boss. You can connect your Bob to Follow-Up Boss, record your videos, and send videos out through email. Some people will watch them, some people love them, some people hate them. If you send me a video on email, I'm probably not going to watch it. Yep. But if you text it to me, I'll watch it.
Yep.
Maybe 3 days later.
You know what? Speaking of, it's a good segue into the next one I was going to bring out. Do you want to talk about Reach?
Oh, Reach, yes. Speaking of text messaging.
And blasting. Yeah, Reach is really cool. I will say this. Back to the iPhone, Android. I think Android one-ups us on Reach a little bit because there's a plugin that you can download for Android that allows it to automate the messaging part. But look up Reach on either the Play Store or the App Store. What Reach does is Reach is a group messaging platform, but not as you would expect. Typical group message is 12 people in it. All 12 people get the message in a group. They can respond in that group. If
and everybody gets the notification.
If there's 1 or 2 Androids in there, it always branches off, creates a separate group somehow to become this shit show.
How do I have 2 groups of people? I don't know.
Yeah, so what Reach does, though, is Reach allows you to reach a bunch of people at the same time. So let's just say, I'm going to give you a very simple example. Your example is You want to wish your entire, let's say your customer database of people who you sold to the last year, right? It's December, it's Christmas time. You want to send everybody out a Merry Christmas, thinking of you thing, right? It's not a thing that's personal to each person, not an individual like, I just wanted to let you and your son and Sherry and Carrie and Lynn, you're just Susie. No, this is more of a like, hey, I just want to wish you happy holidays for you and your family. I enjoyed working with you this year.
Right.
Very simple, very generic. You have 150 people you're messaging. What a good year.
Wow, good for you. Let's
You're killing it. But what it does is put your 150 people into reach under whatever the cruise they are. It's so clients. You create the message, you hit send, and then what the app will do for Apple is individually, one by one, it pulls up that person in your iMessage. And you just hit send over and over again to each person. So it eliminates a lot of the in-between, but doesn't send it as a group. It sends it as an individual text message addressing them by first name. Now, the catch is there. You can't be having people in your phone as John Chubby. That's not going to work.
John from the box.
You can't be like, Linda with the Suzuki or Carrie with the Ford. Like, no, because then it's going to address them as such. So make sure the nicknames are not nicknames, right? That's really the first thing I'll tell you. So I have a lot of people do that.
I used to do that. Now
jack shit up. But yeah, I mean, it'll individually message. Now on the Android, I will say that you want us on this one so far. I don't know if there's a plugin coming or not, but Android, that would plug it. When you hit send, it automates it. Just does it in the backgrounds for you automatically. You're gonna have to hit send on either one.
Good job, man.
But yeah, Reach is cool, and that's like $7 a month for the paid version. I mean, you can't really beat it if you're doing a mass messaging like that. The way I heard about it was podcast.com, and they were mortgage people on the app. And what they do is every Friday they send out a market update to all of their realtor partners via Reach, and it's become so consistent that when they don't send it out by a certain time now, they get text messages like, "Hey, where's the update for today?"
Wow.
Their realtors are looking for this update, which is really cool. It keeps, if you have to hit send 100 times, it's so much easier than starting over the process, copy and pasting 100 times. So that's a cool, cheap little communication tool.
Well, I was going to really dig into that one next week. Next week is kind of my I've calendared like a cleanup, clean up my CRM, clean up my ManyChat, which is another one to talk about probably in a minute. I don't know. We said this is going to be a short one.
Yeah, we got it.
Maybe ManyChat. We'll talk about it.
ManyChat's really good.
But clean it up. Just look it up. I was going to clean everything up and make all of my systems work for me. Because you could have all these systems and not really use them to their advantage, and then you're just wasting money. You're frustrated because it's not working. So definitely spend time whenever you are in one of these programs learning all the buttons, right? Click all the buttons, see what they do, and bring your database into these things so that you can tag people correctly and start messing with it. But life happens so fast, I haven't had any time to do that. But next week, I purposely put it on my calendar to really do this, because once you have that foundation set, and it's kind of like a crockpot setting, right? Where it's just like, all right, these are all set to go. Here's when they're going to go out. Here's when this is going to happen. And you don't really have to think about it. It's one thing you can think about with your...
Oh my gosh. Good God. That reminds me of, and I hope, please, whoever's watching this, comment if you remember this. Remember the Ronco roaster? It was like, just set it and go. And they had the whole crowd doing it on HSN. I used to watch those for some reason as a kid. I don't know why. They would just come on. I would like, ooh.
That's why you don't know about Popl.
No, that's why. Listen, that's why I suck shit. It's like, grew up watching HSN. It's in my blood. But yeah, no, that's a cool one. Cheap, easy to use. That was pretty fun. So check that one out. The other one, so let me think of something else. I mean, we're gonna go briefly over physical tech too at the end, but we'll talk about mics and cameras. But even before that, I think another good two to talk about is Loomly, not to get confused with Loom. I've tried 3 or 4 different scheduling platforms for social. I've fallen in love with Loomly. The price point's amazing. The features are incredible. But Loomly, check that one out. If you're one that likes to schedule your content, have a calendar around it, you can do a lot of that for free in Meta with Meta platform. but it is very confusing and very limited. Where it certainly makes it easy. You can sync up everything, like 20 different accounts can post, and it schedules down to Pinterest, to YouTube, and Instagram, and all the things. So check out Loomly if you're a content creator and you want a way to do that. They do allow collaboration within Loomly now. What's really cool is you can set your hashtags up. So if you have specific posts, you always use the same hashtags. You create those. You just hit add. It'll tell you what's trending with hashtags. It'll let you know what time. Like if you post it Tuesday at 9 a.m. It'll say that's not a great time to post. Here's why. Like it breaks everything down for you. So I've really fallen in love with that, and I used to not want to use third-party platform. I can tell you sometimes it does limit your reach just as bad because it is missing some of the buttons that you would have if you're posting through Instagram. But the way I get around that is when you go to post, I have everything posted automatically. Oh, you already know this. So I have everything posted automatically except for Instagram. I set that up to post manually. So what Loomly will do is, let's say I have a post scheduled for Tuesday at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. Tuesday, I'll get a push notification on my phone that says, hey, it's time to post, click here to post. And then what it does is it'll open up my Instagram account, throw everything in there, and then I can still use all the Instagram buttons, like add topics or whatever. But for me, it's still a huge time saver because the other 7 platforms are automatically posted. I don't have to log in to 7 things and do it. But the one that I really want to make sure I get to reach on, like Instagram, still go in manually, but it takes away 10 of the steps. I'll just literally open it to click post. It saved me a shit ton of time. Yeah, it's magical and I love it. But that's Loomly.
Loonly.
Not Lee, like Bruce Lee, Ly. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one, pretty simple to use. So if you again, it does need help with it, let us know. Outside of that, Opus. So I'll talk about Opus. So, fun fact, the Re-Brew videos are actually Opus Clip that's doing all of the editing. Now, there's other software platforms out there similar to Opus Clip. I have tried them. I do not like them. Opus Clip is definitely expanding. They do now have like AI cutscenes and stuff like that.
Now we have the side-by-side or the
that's part of the new AI thing. So when there's multiple mics, it'll distinguish left and right, and it'll put you separately. So what's really cool about Opus Clip, I won't dive into too much, but I'll let you know about it, is it's affordable as hell. I think it costs $110 per year for 6 to 2 hours of edited content.
Yeah.
And what I mean edited, we throw in a 45-minute video, and it chops it up. We tell it how many seconds we want it to be, what our topic is. The AI will go through and chop it up into those little clips that you guys see on Instagram and TikTok.
So it brings in
Not fully editing those.
You break in the captions, the B-roll, the who's talking.
All the pieces. Now, some of it you have to be a little smart to manipulate a little bit. Like the B-roll, it doesn't always do the best B-roll, But I go, it's editable. So, like, if it throws in a B-roll picture that you don't like or a video, you just change it. You can change the content, the captions, where they're located, with watermarks on it. Like, everything's built in. So I have a template for Re-Brew. I have a template for one of my real estate offices I do package for. I have a template for my buddy's home therapy company. Then I just click the template, upload video, all good. And for those that do get it, you're like, oh, it's not working. My video is too large, because it caps you at like a 10 gigabyte video, which sounds like a lot, but these podcasts for 45 minutes is good night, kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
It used to take you like 14 hours to upload.
Oh, it did, but then I spent a nice pretty penny on some laptops, and now my 14 hours turned into like 14 minutes. So I took another language. But that was like $5,000 equipment. But no, I mean, the easiest way around that, to be completely honest, is once you have your video, what I do is I upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video, and then I just paste the YouTube link into Opus.
Because it brings the gigabytes down?
Well, it just pulls it from the internet instead of like a file. So then I get around that whole 10 gigabyte.
That's smart. How'd you freaking think of that?
I thought, look how fat the box.
You said it.
So much. We're going to just did that out. Yes. So much.
So much.
The grip.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Opus is fun. So, I mean, check out the clips. You'll see Opus did, like, all of that. Which is a huge time saver for me, because editing the actual video takes forever.
And it's not... Well, it's not fun, but it's also not fair that, like, someone has to spend so much time. So when he was like, hey, there's this platform that, like, chops it up, and I'm like, how much was it? He's like, it's this. I'm like, Doug, what's my favorite?
Yeah, so that's Opus Clip. So we'll, breeze through that.
So Opus, let's talk about the difference between Opus and Fiverr.
Oh, Fiverr. So Fiverr is definitely a whole different beast altogether. Fiverr.
It's still a video clip maker,
Yeah, but it's people. It's like freelance.
but it's people, right?
So a lot of people are overseas, so it takes a little while to find your person, and it does cost you like $20 to $40 to $60 a video.
Right.
So again, if you're just, if you're like, hey, I don't know what the hell to do, I don't know how to make videos. If you could just sit down with a colleague, a friend, a client, whatever, just talk like we do here on the podcast, just throw it in as like Opus, let the AI do the work, do it.
Right.
It'll save you so much time. It'll give you some good content, give you something to put out there. So that's Opus. That's ASE, and it's affordable. Try it.
CapCut.
CapCut's good. I will say for those that are editing video and are fairly new to video editing and don't have the time to figure out something like Final Cut, Adobe, DaVinci, there's a lot of cool ones out there because I've tried them all and they're all extremely in depth.
You don't have to really know what you're doing
Yeah,
to use those. CapCut,
very user friendly.
it's user friendly and there's a lot of options, so you really have to hit all the buttons. We learned that from one of our friends, Gogo. When you get something new, hit all the buttons and see what it does. Like, don't do it when you first get it. Don't plan on making your first masterpiece. Just load something up and then hit all buttons. Just keep hitting buttons and seeing what that does and what this does, and what if I do this, what if I do that, and see what it does, because there's a lot to do, and there's a ton of tutorials. If you go to like CapCut YouTube or
You could even TikTok CapCut.
or just yes, there's whole accounts that are dedicated to showing you different tools and stuff like that. So, but it's time consuming to learn all of that. But once you know it, you'll learn it for a little bit, and then they'll change it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we changed.
But they keep you very up to date. You log in, it shows you on the main page. They have the new features. They're doing a lot of editing on AI. They're doing a lot of AI clip editing. So a lot of that stuff you can do now with the CapCut. It's like $100 a year. It's worth every penny.
Sure.
Templates are magical. So for those who don't know how to edit at all, you just fill in the blanks on a template you like and call it good. So I love that part about it. But yeah, I mean, don't spend a bunch of money, especially if you're not a full-blown video editor. You're just trying to throw some shit together. Use CapCut. Save the money. You'll probably want to go pro. It's one thing I know Gogo talks about all the time. It's like, she's like, I want the pro version of everything. Because I'm not doing the free cheap stuff anyway, and like, so go for it. Give it a try. It's magical. It works very well. I just had someone reach out to me. Actually, a buddy of mine, like, hey, I argue with these voices. That's one thing I love too. If you want to talk about something, or you're doing a product showcase or a home tour, and you're like, I don't like my voice, I want something different. You can just pick the little TikTok lady voice in CapCut and use that instead. So just a lot of cool tools. I mean, I love playing around with CapCut. Some of the effects are a little wild. There's some cool stuff you can play around with. And it's easy as like drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. Like, there's not a lot of learning involved with CapCut. And when there is, you just look it up online and watch somebody do it. It's so easy. And you can do it for your phone. CapCut Mobile is pretty solid as well.
I like CapCut from my MacBook more.
Same.
CapCut from MacBook, but if I'm editing inside of Instagram, like the video I just posted with Jenny walking around the Bougie Realtor.
Oh, yeah.
That entire thing was edited inside of Instagram. Like, I did not bring that video outside of Instagram.
Stressful, I'm sure. But
It took me like an hour. But, it was just, you could edit a lot of this stuff inside of Instagram, but when you're ready to go to the next level, right, and add different things, CapCut is going to be your next level if you're not hiring someone outside of you to do it.
I work smarter, not harder. Use I can't speak for my Android friends, but AirDrop. You're back to Mac. I take the video on my phone, I'll AirDrop it to my computer, edit it, AirDrop it back. It's second, it's good to go.
Right.
So that's very helpful. It saves me a lot of time. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, video editing, just save your money. Do that, because unless you're like going hard on cinema shit, you don't really need Final Cut or DaVinci or any of the other ones. DaVinci's free though. So if you do want to try something that's a little bit more robust and you have the time to learn, go DaVinci just for shits and giggles, because the rest of a Final Cut will cost you like $400 or $500. The Adobe Studio is very expensive. But you get like a 90-day trial of Final Cut. That's more for like heavy video editing.
Right. That high end.
Same thing with Premiere Pro. Like Adobe Premiere Pro is very very in depth. So I'll use that because I sometimes like these mics. Sometimes the left and right audio, I have them flipped by accident. So I get to use like Adobe to flip the audio. It's just pretty easy, but yeah, it's fun. I think the last one we'll end with is physical tech. Physical tech, you know, in our industry, whether you're real estate, mortgage, title, good mics. You start with good mics.
Built your mortgage title.
And honestly, what I mean by good mics is don't get sucked in by these TikTok shop shit.
Yeah.
Like
TikTok shit.
they're like, oh, everybody, and they show you this mic. I have tried the little $20 mics. I've tried the $15 mics. I've tried the $50 mics. Not the same quality. They don't have the same features. So, not to say you don't go $400 like these DJIs. Do not have to do that.
But we do like these.
But I love these because, you know, something like this gives you the onboard. So that's why I was talking about earlier at the beginning, the red. The red means I'm recording on the little mic. So if the connection fails, if it's corrupted or the audio's not good, I still have it stored on here. I can plug it with the computer and then off audio from here. I think it does like 15 hours in each little mic.
So you download it and then type it for the next.
Yep. So yeah, parts that will help will have little tricks like that. Noise suppression is huge. So if you can find yourself a mic that does noise canceling like these two, phenomenal, especially if you're out and about showing houses, walking down the street, doing a tour, doing the open house where there's wind noise and stuff like that. It kills the wind noise without editing, which is phenomenal. But again, you probably get something simple. Anchor makes some killer, Anchor Soundcore makes some killer mics for about $140, depending on when they're on sale. They might be a little less. They may have noise canceling. And then there's this company called Hollyland, I believe it's called. It looks like Hollyland, but it's Hollyland. They call it the Mark something, but I like them as well. They're minis. Like if I could revive, I'd buy these. They're mini noise canceling. They're like the size, but dime. And you can clip them on your pad. You're sure you can barely see them. There's noise canceling. They're so sick.
That's one of my, I don't like cords. Like they used to have like the mics and then it have cord, a little thing in the back. Now it's like, these don't have cords.
And also get two. Definitely get the dual pack because you'll never know when you're going to have another person with you that maybe wants to do something with you, or you might want to have them walk around. The mics are huge. Audio for me is huge. You know, if you have a gorgeous video and there's shit audio, like it kills the vibe for me. Especially if you sound like you're way over here. You know, like you'll hear the different.
I don't know if they're gonna hear the difference.
Probably not good. They're just these are really good. As I do this. If you're listening, you really have to watch this.
You really need to watch that part.
I'll just make a clip.
Make a clip of that.
I really love mics. Fuzzy one. This is definitely going to be listed as a quick switch with board.
Oh, a good mic. A good mic is a good time.
I don't even know if they want me at this new job I'm getting. There's no HR. Honey, if I listen to anything,
You listening?
but no, it's mics are huge. Cameras, I think cameras are huge. You can do a lot from your phone. You know, yeah. What?
She said cameras are huge, and I was like,
After what I just did, I mean, the word huge. I was like,
wait, what?
Time out.
Stop.
Time out. Pause. No, cameras are huge. Honestly, use what you have at your disposal. Your phone, right? Android takes killer fuck videos. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Some of those phones have some killer. Like I had a S24 Ultra recording 8K. I just found out, it's 2 years old. I should know this. I felt like, wow. Apparently Instagram only allows you to upload up to like maybe in a certain frame rate. So if you have 4K, it downrates it anyway. So that's interesting to me. But, you know, your phone does a really good job. Biggest thing with your phone, I'm going to throw out there, if you're using your phone for content, if you can get yourself a gimbal and keep it a little bit more steady, phenomenal. The downside to that, I have like a DJI. I'm like a...
Me too.
I have a DJI Pocket 3. You think it's called? It's a standalone camera that's gimbal. You know, so it keeps everything steady, keeps the image the whole way. When we're watching the video and it's all shaky, it's a little much. And sometimes I edit that out, but not
Put that so much, yeah.
But if you're shooting on your phone, make sure you're doing, record it in at least HD, or if you can pull the 4K and do it, even though it'll get downrated sometimes, it still will look better. Record it 4K with the frames set. If you have a little 60 or 30 at the top of your screen, that's the frames per second. You always want it in like 60 or higher.
Top right, when you're recording on a regular camera app on your iPhone. Right at top right corner, it'll say 4K or HD, 30, 60, whatever.
60 is huge. That's frames per second. If you're doing those slow downs, speed ups, ramp downs, whatever, you're going to want to do that with the 60 frames, so that way it doesn't jitter and stutter as you start it down. With 30 frames per second, it's less frames, obviously, at 30 versus 60, and it will start stuttering and jittering. So if you're doing those ramp up, slow downs, maybe through rows, stay at 60. You should never need 30 unless you go some cinematography shit. If you're looking for another camera, check out the Pocket 3. I use that because it records landscape like YouTube, and it records vertical for reels from the same device. It's stabilized, it's standalone.
One for recording.
Answer your phone. Yep, you can answer your phone calls on it. You can answer your texts. Your quality. One thing with the phone gimbals is you have to try and not disturb, because if you're recording your video or your phone call or text, like sometimes the vibrate watch you jiggle the camera, you'll see that in the video, or it'll just stop it recording altogether. So I didn't like doing that, so I got rid of it. I use the device now for all of that.
When you just upload it to your
plug it right in, upload it. You can actually control it wirelessly from your phone, which is nice. So you can like pivot pans and whatever while some of them on a stage or something.
Wow.
But I think that part's really cool, having proper tech. But if nothing else, use your phone and get good lights. So just get good lights. Good camera quality, and wipe your lenses. I'm going to say this to the day I die. Wipe your lenses. If you have a good phone, you have the video cams on. Serious. Wipe your damn lenses off.
So
you don't have the little
my lens off every time we're together, because I'm obviously always taking pictures, and he's like,
I can see immediately. It's like blurred and prismatic, and
right, like the lights kind of have like you have a stigmatism. Yep. So
lights are huge. Lights are huge. Camera, phone's fine. Cameras are huge. A lot of people ask me all the time, like, how are they doing this nice? Why are they doing these home tours? Like, and just go with them. Most of these people doing this home tour, like, if you follow Chandler, he does it by himself. He has the tripod and the phone. You know what I mean? Like, most people are just doing the tripod and the phone. They don't have to get too crazy with it. You have the money to go crazy, do it. Then you'll go crazy. But you don't have to have all that distraction. But again, I don't know. I can go for days on tech, but do research on anything that you buy. Even something as simple as a phone case. So like mine, the cup out the buddies. I have the little suction cup thing on the back of my phone. I work on concrete, but you get the idea. You can suction cup to most things. And it's also magnetic because I have a magnet case. If there's a fridge nearby, you can throw it on the fridge, take a video. Little cheap, simple things that you utilize your tech. You're in like the Keller Williams exhibits, conferences of the world that's technically offered. You'll learn it. Learn it, because I can't see every time someone's coming, they're like, I need to do this, and I'm like, well, your company does that for you.
It's right there.
What do you mean? I'm like, well, going into training. Like, usually they just throw you all to the fire. I get it.
Yes.
I totally understand. But reach out. If it's something, if you're with one of those bigger companies, it's not a little amount of top. It's likely to have something.
They usually have a tech person.
Usually.
An IT person that's there. That if you're like, I don't know how to do this, they will show you how to do it. If it's any of the stuff that we talked about today, most of the time, unless it's something we talked about that I didn't know about, one or both of us knows how to use it, and we can show you.
Some cool little tips and tricks. There was some little flies.
I know. I've had a lot of butt probes and stuff.
Oh my God, he's in there.
Yeah, he did. But he drunk.
You go. May the force be with you. And also with you.
And
Yeah, the thing we're long-winded on this one, so
you thought it was going to be short.
round it up.
Oh, what? We'll round this one out.
Round it out. Round it up. Round it down. Round it. So I feel round.
Roll out.
I've rolled it out.
He's got to go play golf.
You got bugged.
I'm okay with that.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. We just want to give you some little basics to play around with. Play around with your CRMs. Play around with the tech you have. Play around with your videos. And again, if you don't know anything about what we're talking about, take TikTok, take Instagram, YouTube. type in, camera effects or how to properly use your phone for this or that. There's somebody somewhere who has done this. One guy I follow who does like all kinds of weird camera angles. It's spell work. He'll set it up in his car mirror, set it up in his sunroof. Like there's cool spots where he gets cool angles, and it's just usually the shit you already have in the thing.
Right.
The one thing I'll end with, and this is something that I've seen on videos, and started to irritate the hell out of me. You'll probably do it. So if you do,
Sure, I just. I know it.
talking to you straight up. No, if you're doing videos in the car, whether you're driving or sitting still, please be aware that there is a delay and a lag when you're using your car's Bluetooth to video.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
I don't annoy you on that one.
Nope, good, because that is a thing. And I see people talk in the car, and they will literally be like, "Yeah, so today," and they're like, "Today," their lips are not catching up with what they're saying. There is a delay when you're using the Bluetooth in your car to the video on your phone. So if you're going to do a video in your car, disconnect Bluetooth for that video. Do your video.
Phone speaker.
Reconnect
Your phone
Bluetooth afterwards, because the delay drives me bonkers and it does not look very professional. And what's sad is, I've seen professional video people offer services doing this stuff, doing those videos in their car, and it drives me up a wall.
It drives me crazy.
So keep that in mind. I learned it the one day I was doing a story video at Starbucks, and I was like, what the hell?
Why is my mouth not lining up with my
Yeah.
words? And then I
Disconnect
realized.
Bluetooth.
Right.
So, or have your little mics. If it's that big of a deal, you want to talk about it, it takes 2 seconds to pop the mic out. And on that note,
And on that note,
stay tuned. A lot of changes coming. So for those of you who know me, I'm still going to be at Fairway, but I did take a position, doing business development for Title Company. So,
but not mine.
but not very.
But just-
it's a friendly competition.
I know.
But no, we're in good spirits, man. It's been definitely a whirlwind. But good things to come. On both ends. We're gonna remain. This is gonna be constant.
I think we're going to set the example of relationships and friendships across the board,
100%.
because there is no reason for us to be, like, although we're going to be direct competitors, there's no reason for us to be not friends,
For friends.
not
So,
continue to do what we love to do, which is this podcast. Because,
yeah.
like we tell our realtors, if the deal goes south or whatever, move on to the next. There's more than enough business for everybody. There's more than, there's like, what, 239,000 realtors in Tampa? So, like, there is way more than enough business for us to go around. We already have great professional relationships with each other's competition as it is, and we're just going to keep that going. And we love that. We love the camaraderie in our industry, and we want to promote it.
Yep. 100%. So stay tuned. A lot of cool things coming. A lot of updates coming. A lot of fun to be had. And be real as much as possible. Brew good.
Do good. Cheers.
We wish you were beer.
Beer. Here. Goodbye.
Fuck, we good.
Oh,
Clear beer.
wish we were clear beer.
Oh man,
Darn it.
one day it's gonna live on. I gotta get this bug out of my cup. Bye. Now I'm bugging out.
I'm bugging out.